Warning. The
OGATCHAT podcast
contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to OGATCHAT, the #1 of Guards and Thieves podcast on the interwebs. I'm Ty. My name in OGAT is Lick the Taint, and this is
Luke. My name in OGAT is Kubato.
And we are here coming at you with episode 2 of OGATCHAT. On this episode, we're going to be talking about two things. We are going to be reviewing one of the public Steam community OGAT How to Be Pro guides, and we're going to get to everybody's favorite segment, the OGAT Bug of the Week. Are you going to say something about Bug of the Week?
Oh, I'm tired. Sorry. I'm blanking out. Bug of the week.
Yeah. So, yeah, we thought that on this episode, what we're going to do is review the Steam guide. It's called, so you can follow along at home if you like, How to Be Pro at OGAT by Mo. That's M-O-E. The author is Mosif, and you should be able to find it pretty quickly on the Steam guides if you just look up. I don't even think you have to look anything up because I just went straight to the guides, and it's
on top of the popular Steam guides.
Yeah, it's a fairly popular guide. It looks like it's had over 1,300 visitors to this professional guide. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read it step by step so that anyone listening can also become pro according to Mo. Isn't that great?
That's great.
So here's
Nice, helpful guide.
Yeah, it's a great guide. We're just going to take it step by step. We are going to read it in its entirety. If there's any, I think you'll just find out. We're just going to read it word for word. I'll take the first introduction in step 1. Yeah, we can alternate. Yeah, that's a good idea. So here we go. This is How to Be Pro by Mo. Hello there. Do you want to be pro at OGAT? Well, in these 5 steps, you will be a total boss, like me, Mo. Step 1. Communicate with your team. Communication is key to being pro. If you didn't know this, you can click the scrolling thing on your mouse and it will bring up a little speak bar in-game. You can go so left, or cover me, etc. It is very useful in GAT mode to say go left or go right when a thief steals the object, and it's also good for warning your team about danger. It's also good to just say stuff like GJ when you do good, cause then you start to feel better about yourselves and play better. So that's step 1. What do you think about that?
Well, step 1, at least it introduces the speak bar, the little speak bar in game.
That's true. I actually, to be totally honest, I had no idea that thing existed for like a year and a half before I figured out you could click down your scroll wheel. But I think so far he's giving us some solid advice. Communication is key for OGAT.
Yeah, even though they don't have voice chat. So
yeah, it's a little side note. If you actually want to do good in a match and you're trying, you should be having a voice chat, Discord, whatever is actually very useful.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on step 1, communication?
It really sells the confidence part of this, the GJ, when because you make you feel better about yourselves. That's really helpful in a game.
Yeah, that is really useful that he's not only giving you tips on how to become a pro at OGAT, but he's giving you solid life advice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mo. All right, let's do step 2. Yeah, you take it.
Step 2, killing. This really should have been the first one, but here we are. Knowing how to kill someone is very important because maybe you find yourself 1v1ing someone in the hall. Don't just stand still and hold down the trigger. You need to continue moving your character in small circles to dodge your shots and use your surroundings against your opponent. Also, most pros, I didn't do any research on this, just guessing most people because my friends and I do it, of pros don't hold down the shoot, they rapidly click. Other than the grammatical errors.
Yeah, I really like this so far. I can confirm, as somebody who has played the game for a long time, I would never call myself pro, because if you throw me in a match against people that play way better than me, actual pros, I get destroyed. But as someone who's at least played the game for a long time, I can confirm that killing is an important part of every match.
Yeah. It's like that's the concept of the game or something.
It's at least part of it.
Yeah, it's at least part of it.
I do love how he throws in there the also most pros, and then in parentheses, I didn't do any research on this, just guessing most people because most of my friends do it.
Yeah, it's like,
humble brag.
Yeah. Listen to me. I'm Mo.
I know
I'm
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's pretty confident. I really like he is an overflowing well of self-confidence, and this guy would give Dave Ramsey a run for his money.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. What else? Do you have anything else on killing? I do.
It's basic stuff.
I like how he does throw in there use your surroundings against your opponent, but gives you no explanation or no elaboration. Yeah.
Just examples.
Do it.
Like if you find yourself in a hall and there's stuff in the hall, use it.
Yeah, it's you find yourself 1v1ing, just kill him. That's really all there is to it.
Only in the hall. Only in the hall. If you're out in the open, you fucked.
If you're outside, yep, just give up.
You just give up and you're done.
Anything else? Step 2 killing before we do? No?
Go to step 3.
All right, step 3. Now this is a good one. I actually really like this quality advice here. Shooting through vents. Have you ever seen someone shoot through those little yellow bars in the walls? That's a vent, and there is a way to shoot through it. If you put your cursor on the tip of your gun, it will make your shots go lower, allowing you to shoot through the yellow bars, but you have to be a little away from the vent, and it will also slant your bullets. But if you set yourself up right, it can get you some kills. You can also throw nades through vents. You know how a grenade bounces after like a second of you throwing it? Well, if you can get the distance of the bounce right, then you can throw your nade, and when it goes to bounce off the ground, it's actually when it goes to bounce off the ground, it will slip right under the vent, allowing you to get those annoying enemies. It's actually pretty solid advice.
Annoying enemies.
He's getting at something that I think they might have either fixed or made it a lot harder, because what you used to be able to do, you can generally just shoot through the vents, the thin vents wherever your cursor is. I think it's pretty forgiving in terms of the fact that he says you need to put your cursor on the tip of your gun. I don't really think you need to do that for the small vents, but for those thick vents, the big yellow ones that take a lot longer to walk through, you did used to be able to shoot through those if you angled your gun correctly and you did put your cursor right about at the tip of your gun and you were just the right distance away from the vent. But I haven't been able to pull it off recently, basically ever since the last big patch. So I wonder if that was something they weren't intending you to be able to do and they did fix it or not. But I mean, this has got a lot of grammatical errors, but I don't really think there's anything wrong about this.
Yeah. It's pretty solid advice. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. There's not really a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So let's move on to step 4.
Step 4: finding your class.
All caps.
Try to really find it. Yeah, all caps. Try to really find a class that speaks to you, even though they don't have voice. Mine is medic class, but you might need to find one on each team. Maybe you like Sabo on thieves and assault and guards. That sounds perfect. You just really need a class that you can work well with.
That was a pretty short step. I mean,
personally, I've never heard of the class Sabo, but
you're just being a jackass. You know what he means. Yeah. No, it's pretty funny. You got to really find that class that speaks to you. I don't really. There's not a lot. There's not a lot to dissect here. It's pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward, even though like majority of the time picking classes like situational.
It is very situational. It's kind of surprising that he didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I would never use the Saboteur class on Team Deathmatch, but for Bomb Defusal or the Zombie Rush, to anything where you have to control a small area, the Fire Bombs are great. So it's totally situational. I think we're taking this too seriously. Let's move on to step 5.
Step 5, your turn.
Joining a pro server. I think this is my favorite step of the 5. Now that you've read my 5-step guide, go on over to a pro server, but if you are too low of a level, you will have to say, "Don't worry, I'm good. I read Mo's How to Be Pro guide," and that might work. Anyways, have fun and join me sometime. My username is I'm better than Mo. Wink.
In asterisk.
Yeah. I don't think that was actually a tip. That was just direction. That was join this server.
Direction. Go to the server now. Even though it says now that you've read 5 steps, but we're still on the 5th one. It's like you're not even one sentence into the first one.
I think that just comes back to the guy's confidence. He is so confident in his ability. He knows you're going to finish reading this guide at this point.
He's so ready. His in-game name is I'm better than Mo, which he's already a pro, so he's beyond pro. So we know this is a good guide.
And this guide was also released November 21st, 2016 at 10:12 a.m. I wonder why Steam feels the need to give you the time signature too, but
it's very important. What do you mean? If this was made any time past that, would not be eligible for this review.
So I would imagine that at this point, this was posted 2 and a quarter, almost 2.5 years in the past. I imagine Mo has got to be essentially a god tier player at this point, right? After
that's
already being pro in 2016. Now fast forward to now. Gosh, I don't know. I don't think I want to cross him in game.
I think he's at like 50% Shaggy power right now. That's a really, really high number, but I think he might just be at 50% of Shaggy's power.
He's at 25 moles of power. All right, let's see here. Let's read some comments. There's 5 comments on this. Oh God. There's 5 comments on this post. Would you like to read the first one for us, please?
Yeah. Okay. This one is by Harley Quinn, and it says, "You Nick?" ? This was posted June 24th, 2018.
Yeah, it took him 2 years to get any comments on his. Oh no, just kidding. This is the most recent comment.
Yeah, that's the most recent.
Harley Quinn with the profile picture of Harley Quinn from the shitty Suicide Squad movie. Yeah. So that's great. All right, what do we got? Ichigo is better. Is that from you're the anime guy. Is Ichigo from an anime?
Yeah, it's from Bleach, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, cool. It just says XD. That's But he has a third comment right underneath it that says, "That Lars, quote, I love you, Tiger Millionaire," unquote. I don't know if this guy's lost or if he's just commenting on...
No, the picture of the thing is from a cartoon. If I'm correct, it's Steven Universe, and that guy's name's Lars.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Okay, then...
An actual useful comment. Read the next one.
Yeah. A Raider says, "Step 6, moving. You move faster when walking in the direction you are looking in, and slower if you aren't."
That is true. I can confirm that is accurate information, but that's probably one of the more useful tips that is in this entire guide. Came from a comment on the outside, because other than the throwing shit through vents, if you angle it correctly, he didn't really give you any tips. It was just talk, kill, shoot, pick a class you like, join a good server. It's fantastic. All right, final comment. Flynn, Wargorth. Okay. Nice.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a message from the booth that is in fact Wargorth.
Oh, thank you, Booth. Our mixer, our professional producer in the booth is he's sending us signals saying that's sign language. I believe that's English sign language that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, I believe so.
Unless, do you know if you have your middle finger raised, is that different in like Japanese?
I think that means peace. I think that's peace among worlds. I think we're good. I think he's telling us to keep going.
Thanks,
now he's holding up a post-it note. No, stop looking at the booth. Okay, continue with the podcast.
Get to work. Okay, fuck. Yeah. Nice basic guide from Wargorth. Well, that's some great addition to this guide. This man's commentary.
Way to top it all off.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah. Hey,
All right. Well, that was fun. We should do that again later. All right. Let's move on. Do you know what time it is?
it's time for Bug of the Week.
Yeah, OGAT Bug of the Week. Well, with the upcoming Mad Ball tournament, this is a pretty easy one that a lot of people already know about. But in case you didn't know, Mad Ball as a game mode, is quite bugged.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bugs that we'll probably be dealing with in the Mad Ball tournament is one that we just dealt with the other day when you and I were playing.
Yeah.
Essentially, you are in the middle of a Mad Ball match, and as soon as you die, you don't respawn, and nobody respawns, and the game, you either let the clock run out or close the server and reopen it, and it's fantastic.
Only happened to us 3 times yesterday and made us quit. So
It's a quality coding error.
Yep.
All right.
I forgot to add like a if-then statement there, but
Oh,
gotta
shit.
get that Java coding in there. I don't know.
JavaScript. All right, let me actually
JavaScript.
look at something really quick because I did just I got a message from Lupo511, one of the administrators on the official OGAT Discord the other day. He mentioned that about the no respawn bug, it only, and they think always, it only happens from the second time you host the mode. So the first time you host the game, it should be fine. But if you play a second round of Mad Ball in the same server before you close and rehost it, that's when it happens. The game bugs out and you're unable to respawn, which is interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
At this point, it's almost become like a staple of Mad Ball.
Yeah.
Everyone just knows that when you play Mad Ball, that's what happens.
Very true.
Well, I think that about wraps up this episode of OGAT Chat, unless you have anything else that you'd like to mention.
No, I think we're good. Other than have a nice day.
Have a nice day. See you next fall. Oh,
What a way to end it.
Yeah. Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Yeah.